me in the car when we come to my house.
They need to take like a real restaurant.
60 pound change. I got you.
This is what goes in your body.
How much you weigh? Like 90 pounds.
I'll show you.
Okay. What are 3 dogs you can think of that are considered aggressive?
Pitbulls, Doberman pinchers.
Did you know the dogs you named are not even on the top 5 list for most aggressive dogs? The number 1 dog is the Dachshund. The second is the Chihuahua. The third is the Jack Russell Terrier. The fourth is the Cocker Spaniel. The fifth is the Chow. See, so just by the word of mouth and the news, everyone thought different breeds were the top 5. My name is Lloyd Mitchell, and I'm talking about pit bulls should not be banned from North Carolina or any other state. Today I'm going to talk about some of the negative points, some of the positive points, to the solution and the results we can have so these dogs won't get a bad name. Now let's look at the negative points. In today's news, pit bulls have been biting and attacking humans from left and right. They're used for dog fighting and attack dogs. Have you seen it? Might fit. They're not safe around children and older adults, according to the news. They have a jawbone that locks, and the pressure they bite are very crucial. They're used to protect drug crops and weapons to drug dealers. Now let's look at some of the positive points. They're great guard dogs, and they are very loyal to their owners. They are used as service dogs in most of the wars to recover different soldiers, to look out for mines, help the soldiers. They're also used for police dogs, for them to go search out drugs. They're also great for therapy dogs because they're high tolerance. So if you bump the dog or you fall on the dog, they're not going to get hurt or get aggressive just like any other dog would because they have a high tolerance rate for pain. They actually are child friendly and good family dogs because they have a high attention span. So if you have kids that have a lot of energy, these dogs are great for them because these dogs will have a lot of energy too. These dogs are clowns at heart, love to play. They have a great zest for life. Now, let's think for a moment. You know, when you watch the news, you know, first thing they go is, hey, pit bulls this, pit bulls that. Before it was pit bulls, it was Rottweilers. Before it was Rottweiler, it was Doberman pinchers. So what's next? You know, wiener dogs. So, you know, that's the news job to basically, you know, take a story and twist it and not always give you the good side of, you know, the news. So one of the solutions that, you know, we should really take in consideration is, let's not blame the breed of the dog, but blame the owners on how they train the dogs. Because, not trying to compare your dogs to kids, but, you know, you take a kid and you don't really properly raise him right, and none of the times he's gonna be a bad kid, you know. And you know, when you're at school, teachers are like, your kid's bad, you know, they always want to talk to the parents to see what kind of home training it is. So these dogs just don't grow up and say, hey, I'm gonna be bad, I'm gonna, you know, be a killer. You know, their owner actually trains them to be that way. And if you train a dog to be loyal and loving, then they're gonna be loving. But if you train a dog to be mean, then he's gonna be mean. So you can't take consideration and say, oh, we just don't like pit bulls. We need to take consideration of who's owning these pit bulls. And you know, you take a person who beats their dog, trains their dog up in the dark, trains to be a fighter. Of course, this dog can get aggressive. So if he gets out, that's all he knows is to attack. It's not necessarily he's an attack dog. It's just that's how he was trained. And second of all, I think we should do better research about pit bulls and look at both sides, good and bad, not just look at the news and say, oh, well, they say they bad, so I'm gonna say they bad. Nah, that's not how you really should judge any person or any animal. And realize pit bulls are not the only animal that are considered dangerous. And understand these dogs wasn't born to be killers. Like, you got snakes. They weren't born to be killers, but if they bite you, you know, some of them are poisonous, they can kill you. But we're not banning snakes. Insects and spiders, you know, like one insect or a spider can bite you and you die too. But we're not banning those. And you take a horse, you know, a horse is a friendly animal that we ride, but, you know, if it gets agitated or it falls on you, like, it's a lot of deaths from people riding horses. But don't mean they're dangerous. It just means, hey, accidents happen. So at the same time, these dogs originated from Greece, and they used to be guard dogs to some of the tribes over there. So they wasn't really, they was created to attack bears and large animals when they went hunting. They wasn't, you know, here to attack people. They was, you know, just use the guard dogs. And, you know, just like police dogs, you know, be trained to be drug dogs. They didn't wake up and say, hey, I'm gonna be a cocaine dog. I'm gonna be a marijuana dog. I mean, it's what they train for. So, and the last solution I think, you know, that we should really take into consideration is when we have these dogs is to make sure they're properly secured. If you have a pit bull, you know, I know they got a no chain law, but make sure you get a kennel. And make sure your dog's locked up, because it's just not a pit bull can get loose. Any dog can get loose and attack your kid or attack you, period. I mean, just the other day, I was at my house and a Jack Terrier, you know, ran up on a lady and she had 3 pit bulls. Pit bulls that stood there, didn't even do anything. You know, that just shows that her pit bulls wasn't trained to be attack dogs. But this Jack Russell wasn't a attack dog either. So it's just human nature that, you know, dogs gonna be dogs. So I talked about the negative points, the positive points, solution to results. So I wanna give you a little story. Like, in the movie Little Rascals, there was a dog named Petey. Petey was a pit bull. Never harmed any kid. So do you think the parents of the stars would let their kids be around this dog day after day if they thought this dog was dangerous? Now, let's take the movie Lassie, the little TV show Lassie, the collie. Did you know Lassie bit her trainer several times? But she's not a pit bull. She's a collie. So just to say that it's just not pit bulls that are aggressive. Dogs, period, can be aggressive. So this is what I'm going to leave you with in conclusion. We as people are judged every day about our color of our skin, our race, and the content of our character. And just because we are different doesn't make one person better than the other. I say this to say here, it's a dog being judged because it's a different breed and the news has been given a bad name. This dog has a heart too, like humans, and it needs love. So we should just love it instead of hate it.